Welcome to In Pursuit of Excellence. Today we're going to look at excellence as one of the skills to build. Let us see whether we can build excellence, what is excellence, and all that stuff. Now, if you go some years back, at one point of time, running 100 meters under 10 seconds was considered impossible. Do you agree with me? Now, let's go and watch a short video and come back. Okay, after the video, I'm going to display the results. Now, here are the results of the top 10 performers who are under 10 seconds. If you go to the latest 100-meter finals in any of the top world class events, you will find that all the 10 people are under 10 seconds. Now, how was that possible? At some point of time, somebody broke the barrier and he said that it is possible, and he made it possible. Uh, Actually, it is called the Bannister effect. Roger Bannister was the first person uh, who there was a mindset at one point of time in life that it was impossible to run a mile under 4 minutes. 1 mile under 4 minutes. And it was Roger Bannister who actually broke that. And after that, in a short period of time, there were a lot of people who could do it. So what was it, the quality of these people? What was the Roger Bannister or the first person who broke the 10-second barrier? What was it possible? What is it that is possible? How did they make it possible? Let's look at that. Okay. So you looked at the races. Tell me who was the best. And what I want you to do, I want you to type out who was the best, right? Best, this person. Once you have done that, take a pause and tell me who was excellent. Can you decide who was excellent? In the comment box, write down if yes, why, and if no, why. If you really look at I've studied the text box, the answers in the text box. I'm sure you will agree with me that typing who was the best is very simple, no issues. But the moment I asked you who was excellent, there was a question mark. You had to pause. Even whatever you have written as who was excellent is how did you come up with that? Is that answer, does it mean that if let's say somebody says Usain Bolt has been excellent, does it mean Donovan Bailey is not excellent, or uh, Bob Green or whoever the other people are, the other 9 people in that list, are they not excellent? In fact, when they're running the race, the judgment is done on the best. Very simple. The person who comes first will be the best, isn't it? But if you truly, if you ask me who is excellent and why there was a question mark in most of the people's mind, is because we cannot pick up who is an excellent. Simply because each one is excellent in their own way. You can't say that this person was excellent. Yeah, there are strategies which a person used. Now the strategy is who wins the race. Those strategies worked for that person on that day. Are you getting? And a performance done by people who are winning more and more races, we call them excellent. It's not really true. Everyone is excellent in their own way. Are you getting the difference between best and excellent? We'll come to why we can't come to a destination, but it's clearly that the best is the comparison is with in other person. Usain Bolt has come up first because he's the best in that field, in that time. Because the comparison with all other nine people in the race. So when it comes to excellence, who are you really competing with? In excellence, the only competition is with myself. Can I be 10% better than what I was yesterday? Okay? And that's why I am saying that each person in the race is excellent. Their strategies did not work at that point of time, or they need to better their strategies for becoming the best in that race. Okay? Remember, the best is connected with that particular race. It is not that everyone all time wins the race, isn't it? They are best because their strategies worked for that particular race. So I'm sure by now you're clear about the distinction between the best and excellent. We've spoken about this. So if we are clear, then what is excellence? If we are clear about this, then what is excellence? In that case, what is excellence? Let us look at, can you tell me what is excellence? Can you type your answers that this is excellence? Let us explore excellence in the next slide. Excellence is a process. It is an ing. It is continuous. And that's why when I asked you the question, who is excellent, there was a question mark. There is a momentary pause. You can't come up with terms because we are not used to this. We are mostly connected with the word best. We want to be the best. There's nothing wrong in being the best. But if the best is in competition with myself, then it's going to forward you. If it is going to be the best in competition with somebody else, then you're going to go into the rat race. And the unfortunate part of the rat race is that even if you win that race, you're still going to be a rat. Okay? I'm just joking. Okay? So a rat race is not a place that people should be in because it creates more stress, more problems, more pressures, and then finally you'll end up in the hospital. But excellence game is something different because I'm competing with myself, right? And it's continuous. It's a process. It is an ing. Excellence is an attitude. Okay. So attitude is comes from within. It has to come from within. It's a never-ending journey. I cannot ever say that it is 100% excellence. I can never. It's a never-ending journey. It's like climbing Mount Everest, which does not have a top. Is it possible for somebody so that when it is the best is a destination, excellence is a journey, and that's the best way to describe it. I can be the best after best what? But excellence, remember the person who broke the record believed in his own excellence and he broke the record. It's a process, I can do it. Okay? Excellence is independent of the resource. I want you to type your answers in the comment box. What do you think? It is independent of resource or it is dependent on resource? I'm sure you agree with me that excellence is independent of resource. It's not really required for people. For them to express their excellence, resources are not required. A person who follows excellence will know how to create the resources in life. George Bernard Shaw has said a statement that people are always blaming circumstances for what they are. I don't believe in circumstances. The people who get on in the world are the people who look for the circumstances they want, and if they can't find them, create them. People who follow excellence are the people who will create the circumstance they want. And that's why it is independent of resource. Hima Das, we've seen that in my earlier video. She did not have any resources, but she followed excellence. And that's why she created a mindset that yes, it is possible. And that's why, since she pursued excellence, she could reach that level, right? So it's independent of resource. Awareness, intention, and willpower is obviously required. I'm saying excellence is different from perfection. There is a very different, the whole concept of perfection and excellence is completely different. Now, why I'm saying that? Okay. If you know what's the difference, I want you all to type your comments in the comment box. I'm going to read, I read all the comments in the comment box. So please write so that I know that you're engaged in this exercise. Okay. Guys, you know that excellence is a curse to mankind. Excellence is a personal trait of a human being who says that I want to do the work in my way or highway. I have I have worked under perfectionist boss, and I'm telling you, it is pathetic to work under perfectionist boss because he wants the work to be done in his way. And whatever I do, even if I do whatever I do, that guy is going to make my life miserable. And that's why perfectionism is a curse. Excellence, no. Excellence is inclusive. It will include, it will respect. Okay? So it's very different from perfection. Be clear that it's not perfection, it is excellence. Pursue excellence. Perfection is a curse. And it is perfectionism. I have to strive towards perfection, and that's excellence is the way to strive towards perfection. But it is different from perfectionism. Okay? Now, excellence doesn't require effort. Write your comments. What do you think? Whether it requires effort, it doesn't require effort. Is it possible? Now, I'm sure there are a lot of people who would say that yes, effort is required. Let me tell you, friends, my job is to challenge your thinking. And some of the words are deliberately used so that you're forced to think in a different way. Look at it very, very deeply and tell me whether excellence, whether it requires effort or no effort. I say excellence does not require effort. Now, the reason why I'm saying that excellence doesn't require effort is because it comes from within. And when it comes from within, when I am competing with myself, and because it comes from within, it is independent of resources, effort is not required, it becomes effortless for me. Obviously, physical effort is required. Himadas had to run the race for her to win that gold medal, obviously. So, that physical effort, I'm not talking of the physical effort. I hope you're getting that the word effort was deliberately used over there. So, because excellence comes from within and it's an attitude, it's a process, it's not dependent, it's a journey that I enjoy and it comes from within. It really doesn't require effort. I hope you get what I'm saying. That excellence, if I am a person who really pursues excellence, it is effortless. It will effortless because passion will come up. And when I'm passionate about something, then everything becomes a game. It's a play. Then work is not an effort. It's just a play. When you see passionate people, they are just look at any passionate performer. Look at the excellence in the performance. It's a flow. People flow in excellence. There is no effort, right? Are people born with excellence? What do you think? Everyone is born the same way. The question is that how do I utilize the excellence that is there within me is what is the question. Some of them never you ever use the excellence, some of them bring out their excellence. But people are born with excellence. So the question is if they're born, can I learn excellence? If I'm born with excellence, why do I need to learn excellence? Friends, you have to stir up that excellence out of you. It will not just come out of yourself. That's what I mean by can it be learned. Let us look at what Aristotle says in the next slide. Excellence is moment by moment and one because it's a process. Obviously, you understood that it's a process and it is moment by moment by moment. So the question is there something like 100% excellence? If it is a ending journey, it's not a destination like best. Where is the question of 100% excellence? It's it's never ending. So if I have reached excellence at this level, there is always this level. When I reach over here, that's I can reach over here. It's when I've reached over here, I reach the next level, and that's how records are broken because everyone challenges their own excellence, brings them out, brings them to reality. That's how records are broken. So friends, if you want to reach the top, then you have to bring out the excellence. You have to bring out that excellence from you. So let us look at what Aristotle has said. Excellence is a what? Excellence, let us look at what Aristotle has said. Excellence is an art won by training and habituation. We don't act rightly because we have virtue or excellence. We rather have those because we acted rightly. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act but an habit. Aristotle. Let's read it once more time. Excellence is an art won by training and habituation. We don't act rightly because we have virtue or excellence. We rather have those because we have acted rightly. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act but an habit. Aristotle. Are you getting why excellence can be learned? If you really look at your life, what you repeatedly do is what you are. You are a sum total of what you think, what you believe. And that beliefs gives you some action, and that's what you repeatedly do. Okay? If I keep on focusing on no, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it, I repeatedly do that. So you're getting the whole context that excellence can be learned. It's an habit, excellence, to be excellence. So let us now look at the 6 steps to personal excellence. First one, love change, take risks, mistake making is okay, learn something every day, set goals, and ask for criticism. These are the 6 steps. If you start applying this in your life, in situations, you will be excellent. So let's look at each one of them one by one. Love change. Do we really? Okay. How many people love change over here? Write down. If you love change, I love change. Let me look at how many people really love change. I'm not asking you to invite, but love change. Tell me, who's the first person to resist change? If you love change, okay, I'm going to invite you, I'm going to challenge you. Do one thing. What I want you to do is pause this video. If you are sitting in your workplace and the dustbin is to your right, that day, just remove the dustbin from the right and keep it to your left. And tell me by evening how many people will love the change. Okay? If you have tried it, you know exactly. I know I'm not seeing you live, but actually I can see the smiles on your face. So friends, love change. For excellence, you need to fall in love with change, right? How do we relate to change? Resistance. The first person to resist any change is me, myself. Please be clear about it. How do I know where I am? What is the level of resistance? How do I handle change? So there are 4 levels of change, if I may ask. 4 stages of change. The first level is I ignore and I'm oblivious. I'm not bothered about it. If you look at in the current situation of this pandemic, people are not, some of the people are oblivious, they're not bothered about it. They think that it's not going to happen. The world is changing. The world has changed. And some people ignore it, thinking that nahi re kuch nahi hua hai. They're just resisting simply. So first level is ignore or being oblivious to that change. Second level is to rebel. After a months of uh, being after months being under lockdown, people now have started rebelling. Now they've seen that yes, oh my God, this change is happening, and many people will rebel. That's the second stage. We have to come over and above the rebel stage to be motivated by the change. I think so. If we can bring our self to this third level of the change, then we are won. And then the fourth step would be acceptance and adaptation to that change. But it is important for me to bring that change to my life, to manifest that change, whatever that change may be. I need to bring myself to the motivation level. Why is it happening to me? Why is this change happening to me? Is the question. And if I can create a purpose for that, which will motivate me rather than demotivate me, I will move towards that change. So the first thing is start loving change, because if you want to grow, then grow. The change is the only constant in life. Right? If you want to grow, if you want to be expand yourself, change is the only constant in life. Change keeps on happening. Don't resist it. Embrace it. Love change. Take risks. Now, obviously, I'm not asking you to take crazy risks, but why don't we take risks? Let's look at why don't we take risks, and the reason is consequences. For every action that I take, every decision that I take, I am going to face consequences in life. Some of the consequences will be good, some of them are bad. But the fear of failure that we have, okay, so the fear of failure that we have and not willing to face the consequences actually stops us from taking risk. We are scared of the consequences and hence we don't take that risk. Now, here I'm not asking you to take stupid risks. I'm not asking you to go and jump down from the 100th floor. It's not that stupid risk that I'm asking. I'm not asking you to be a adrenaline junkie. No, but if you are willing to take calculated risks, life will be different for you. The more the risk, the larger the risk, the higher the risk, the better is the result. Even for the adrenaline junkies, the fear is there on the face. But the moment that action, that bungee jumping, the jump is gone, when you left that platform and you reach down and come up, then it's a brilliant thing, because the risk is too high. So obviously people feel exhilarated over that. Okay, greater the risk, more is the result. The better is the result. So not stupid risk, but calculated risk. So I'm not asking you to run a marathon. If I ask you to run a marathon, come on, let's go tomorrow. Learn a marathon. It's not going to happen. But it is important for you. If I ask you to, chalo, let's go and do a 100-meter dash today, I'm sure anybody will be able to run with me. If I keep on practicing these 100-meter dashes and start getting results every single day, 100, 500, then 800, then 1 kilometer, then 2, then 5, then 8. So the consequences are not as big as for a marathon. So look at people, look at things, do things in life which are more 100-meter dashes. Look at consequences which you can easily manage. Don't have to take suddenly something which is large. Make it small, and that's how you will succeed. And that's how you'll be able to take the risk. And the third thing, is about managing risk. What happens when we are in a risky situation? The first thing that comes to our mind, the great mind that we have, is what's the worst thing that can happen to me? Now, when you have this first question, the worst thing that comes to your mind, the brain goes into a complete freeze. and then you can't think. And then once the brain is in freeze, there is no question of taking any action. So here I'm inviting you that once you are at a risky situation, you thought about the worst thing, pause. We've understood the power of pause. So pause, take 10 seconds and ask yourself two things. One, what is likely to happen? And what is the best thing that can happen? Now, forget about whether the best thing is going to happen. You don't even know before you take that action whether the worst thing is going to happen. The fear is purely in the mind, right? So, worst thing, likely thing, and the best thing. Now, once you have all these things, then what I would like you to do is, have you all ever noticed that most of the time, if the best happens, great, nothing like it. We want that best to happen, but it is not typically that the best happens. It is not typically that the worst happens. Very rarely the worst happens, or very rarely the best happens. It is typically somewhere in between the likely that happens. Now, if you find that if what likely to happen takes me closer to my goal, and if I am willing to face the consequences of the worst thing that can happen in that situation, managing risk is pretty simple that way. Just follow these 3 4 steps which I said. What is the worst? What is likely? What is the best? And then ask that question, if what is likely to happen takes me closer to my goal, and if I'm willing to face the consequences of the worst thing that can happen, it's worth taking the risk. Great. So take risks and grow from wherever you are. Making mistakes. Making mistakes. So fearful thought. The biggest fear for human beings is the fear of failure. Even before trying, this fear is there in our minds. Can we do it? The doubt that comes is because of this fear of failure. But let me ask you one question. What do you call a mistake? If you learn from the mistake, then it is called a lesson. It is not a mistake. If you keep on repeatedly doing the same mistake again and again and again in your life, then probably you're stupid. But that's not how human beings are. At some point of time, we'll take the lesson. Here, I am asking you, at least be comfortable in making mistakes. Mistake making is not bad because it's a learning lesson, right? So be comfortable with making. So be comfortable with making mistakes. In my leadership journey, I came across this very powerful statement. In life, there are no mistakes, only lessons. Every mistake I learn, it becomes a lesson. Every mistake I learn, it becomes a lesson. So in life, there are no mistakes, only lessons. Wow. So be comfortable with making mistakes and grow from wherever you are. Learn something new every day. Everything is dynamic and uncertain, and change is constant. Things are uncertain. Life did not come with any guarantee. So how do I grow from wherever I am if I learn something? Change is rapid. Things are happening at so much of breakneck speed that we really can't manage that change. And that is one thing why we are so scared about change, right? So learning everything is important every single day. If you have heard about the guy called Alvin Toffler, he is a futurist and he says that the intelligent in the future are not the people who are going to know how to read and write. The intelligence in the future is going to be a measure of how much you learn, unlearn, and relearn. Let's take the example of telephone skills. Let's go back, say, almost 10 years back. We don't have to go too long. If I have skills of telephone communication 10 years back, will I be effective in today's world? Simple question. I have skills only for which are 10 years, which can work 10 years back. It's not possible. Technology is rapidly changing the world. And for me to be in par with technology, I may not be at that same pace, but if I want to be comfortable with that, I need to learn everything, something every day. I need to learn one thing every day which takes me closer to my goal. If I want to run a marathon, is it necessary? I have to break it down in small, small pieces and I have to learn something new about a marathon so that it takes me closer to my goal of running a marathon. If you want to buy a house, you learn something new about buying a house every single day, and one day you will buy a house. The earlier you learn, the faster you learn, the better it is for you. But you need to learn everything, one new thing every day. Make this as a habit of yours. I will be committed to constantly learning and growing. Remember, friends, leaders live in a question mark, not in a full stop. So learn something new every day. Setting goals, I can't emphasize on this point. We have an entire goal setting session, so not really going to emphasize too much on it. But if you want to achieve something, goal setting, without goal setting is impossible. If there are no goals, there is nothing in life to achieve. You just are going to live an existential life. But if you want to achieve something, if you want to achieve a gold medal in Olympics, to be the best in your field, to be the best of who you are, then goal setting, you cannot live without goals. Okay. Huh. Important is that don't leave other people's goals. We carry in goal setting. I have given you 5 questions. How do I identify whether it is my goal or not? Go and look at the powerful 5 questions given by Zig Ziglar. Amazing tool. Use it and don't leave other people's goals, because then you will land up in the rat race and you will be stressed. And at the end of even achieving that, winning that race, you will still remain unhappy. Be clear that it is your goal. Do set up your goals. I want to achieve something, and let the goals be a little bit more higher than what you think. So, setting goals. And finally, the word criticism. Now, you're scared about the word criticism, isn't it? We are not used to it. So, the first thing that I'm inviting you to do is reframe in your mind the word criticism. You know what is the reframed word of criticism? Which will motivate you, empower you? Feedback. People criticize you means what? If you take it as criticism, it will disempower you. But if you take it as a feedback, when people criticize you, remember, people criticize you because they can see the same mistakes in their lives. Let me tell you, I'm not going to go deep into details of this, but trust me, people who criticize, they can see the same things happening in their life. They can see what is within them, and that is why they criticize you. They are okay. In one of my videos where I talk about these 3 laws of universal laws, you'll understand this word criticism. So forget about that. I want you to look at the word, reframing the word criticism into feedback. Receive it as feedback, and trust me, you'll want more of criticism. You know simply why? We are all masters and PhDs in criticism. We love to criticize people. We love to give free advices to people. We love to judge and evaluate other people because we are masters in it. And because it is available free, why not use it? If it is going to make me grow, why not use it? A smart, a smart person will actually use this to his benefit. When he receives that information, takes it as feedback, feed forward, reframe it in any possible way. Don't take it as criticism, because criticism doesn't go with a powerful thing inside us. If I receive it as feedback, feed forward, then I will grow from whatever criticism I receive in my life. So, friends, we have covered the 6 steps of excellence. Let me now show you a story about who can be excellent in life. Okay? Now, this Arun Kadam and Shantabai story, I am going to show you a few photographs before I can tell you the story. and tell me. I don't even have to tell you anything because the photographs itself are so powerful. Tell me if this is excellence. This is my lane, the place I live, and this duo, this couple, they come and clean my street every single day. Now, friends, remember that this is in the rainy season that I have taken, because the rainy season, I was amazed to see my lane in such a beautiful place. It's so clean. It's so wonderful to watch this. Look at the this lane looks so bright and so beautiful. And these are the two guys, my dear friends. Is this man and is this woman practicing excellence? They are just sweepers in the Bombay Municipal Corporation. But trust me, they are leaders in their own right. They are following excellence to the hilt. This couple is called for cleaning the places everywhere whenever there it is important. They are in demand. Are you getting the point? These people are living embodiments of excellence. In fact, I told them when I went and told them, and I tried to give them money, they did not take it, by the way. This is for your information. They felt completely embarrassed when I offered them a gift because it comes from within. Their work is worship. They love their work. And if you love your work, you will do anything for it. You will excel in it. So the question is, do you want to be here? The question is, do you want to be here in life or here? Where do you think you want to be? The question is, do you want to be here? Sorry. The question is, do you want to be here or do you want to be here? If this is the ladder of your life, this is where your dreams are. If this is where you want to be in life, let me tell you, the first step is mediocrity, then you become good, then you become better, then you become best. But if you want to explore your entire potential, follow excellence. And success will follow you. If you want to be on the top, if you want to be the best of who you are, excellence is the answer. And trust me, you follow excellence, success will follow you. Okay? Thank you very much.